Seeing the presence of the quorum, we'll call to order this meeting of the Amherst Pelham Regional School Committee, which is being taped for later broadcast by Amherst Media, which we appreciate. Excuse me. Our first item of business is to enter an executive session in accordance with Open Meeting Law, Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A, pursuant to Purpose 2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, specifically Michael Morris. The chair declaring the need to do so, I make the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. It's a roll call vote. We'll begin on my far left.
Demling, aye.
Kosensky, aye.
Dwayne Cage, aye.
Married, aye.
Nakajima, aye.
Ordona's aye.
Sullivan, aye.
Hazard, aye.
And calling the meeting to Union 26 to order at 6:34 p.m. Calling to order considering entering executive session in accordance with Open Meeting Law, Massachusetts General Law, Section 30A, Section 21A, pursuant Purpose 2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, Dr. Michael Morris. So this would be a roll call vote as well, and we'll start from this end.
Do you have a second?
Sorry. Moving too quickly. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. And we'll start from this end.
Castleton, aye. Hazard, aye.
Ordona's aye.
Married, aye.
Demling, aye.
Thank you. We are now in executive session.
Great. And we'll return to open session following executive session.
Thank you.
Okay. We will call back into open session this meeting of the Amherst Pelham Regional School Committee.
And call back into session this meeting of Union 26.
So the only item of business we have before actually both committees is to move and discuss and potentially approve a contract for permanent superintendency for Dr. Michael Morris. The item is before us. I'd love to receive a motion. We can move it in both committees, actually. Why don't we do that?
I'll make a motion to approve the superintendent's contract of employment for the Amherst Pelham Regional Schools for a term from November 28th through June 30th, and a 3-year term, being renewed for a 3-year term, July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2021.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. Tripp?
And for Union 26, can I get a motion?
So moved. I say so moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Great. So this has obviously been a item of some moment. We had a wonderful public conversation what seems like a long time ago now. But I appreciate the patience as well as the active engagement and thoughtfulness of Dr. Morris. To go over a couple of things, the contract will be, of course, if approved, publicly available. The superintendent shall be paid a gross annual salary. By the terms were already previously mentioned in the motion itself, so I'm not repeating those. Superintendent shall be paid a gross annual salary of $153,600 for the period of November 28th, 2017 through June 30th, 2018. If renewed, for the term of July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2021, the superintendent shall receive a base wage increase of 1% effective July 1st, 2018, and a base wage increase of 2% effective July 1st, 2019, with the third year following that to be decided in terms of the amount based upon negotiations at that time between the committees and the superintendent. Are there any other major features you want to mention?
I think that aside from compensation, which the Chair Nakajima just mentioned, this contract actually does a couple of different things which previous contracts have not done, and one of which includes a clause around mediation, which I think was brought up during an earlier executive session among our committees, and really I think shows a commitment from the committees to work with this superintendent and to try to resolve any differences or issues that may come up early on in the process and in the relationship, so that we try to avoid any potential major concerns or problems further down the road. So that is one thing that I think these committees have come up with, which is, the superintendent's we've discussed this with him, and he's very supportive of it, and we are very happy for that. And then I think the other thing is that there's a lot more clarity and a lot more detail in this contract, which is also a new thing for us. We went back and forth with the superintendent and with our council and with the committees to try to hammer something out that felt that it was clear and transparent. And so I'm very proud of this process. I think that it was a very good process. And I think that, we have a lot to be proud of in this district.
Great. So I think what we should do,
There's
yes?
one other note, which was we found a typo. that
Oh,
we
yeah,
need to
yeah, yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there is a typo on section 20, indemnification. It says this section, and it misreferences the section number, shall survive any termination of this agreement. Logically, that's just sort of an editing or transposition error, because logically, indemnification per se is precisely what would survive termination of the agreement. And so we're gonna deem it approved as amended at the point we get to that process, assuming we do approve it. So with your indulgence, what I'd love to do, and particularly the indulgence of the other chair, is I'd love to go around the table, and if anyone has any questions or comments, they can make them. Otherwise, we can move to a vote. But I want to give people an opportunity to do that if they wish. And this is why I'm asking your indulgence. We will start on this end. Ms. Castenson.
Excuse me. I don't have any questions. I agree it was a very transparent process, and I'm happy that we can be voting on this tonight.
Yes, I want to thank Dr. Morris and the chairs for working so hard to make this go so well, and for all of your back and forth. I felt like there were a lot of really good discussions, and I think we're in a great place.
I will second that.
I have nothing else to add right now.
I don't either.
Me neither. Oh, I just want to comment that this is a refreshing way of doing this contract and really involving each member of the committee, so thank you.
I'd just like to thank everybody for the long hours it took to put all this together.
Yes, excellent process. Quick technical question. It's probably no big deal, but so the motion as stated was to approve the superintendent contract of employment with Amherst Pelham Regional Schools, and that was the end of the motion. Do we need to add Amherst Public Schools, Pelham Public Schools, or
26.
Union 26?
It'd actually be Union 26.
Okay. Or do we need to restate the motion?
Don't have to restate my motion. Might have to reinstate hers.
We'll have to restate the Union 26 motion. Do you want to take a vote first, Mr. Nakajima, for the region? You want to wait?
I can wait.
Okay, so can I get a motion for, can we restate the motion for Union 26? Ms. Hazard, would you like to?
Sure. I'm sorry, Mr. Demling. The problem was what? Would you like to make the motion? Is that okay? Can we just do that?
I'll give it a whirl.
Because I'm taking notes.
You're on
as I'm
Union
trying to-
26, right?
Yes. I move to approve the superintendent contract of employment with Union 26.
Yes.
That's the end. Period. That's the end of my sentence.
Okay. You were looking at me like you're waiting for additional,
Looking for approval.
okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
Well, we got 3 seconds there. Who wants to go?
Here, I'll give it to you.
Ms. Caskinson? Okay, thank you.
Okay. So we'll start on that end. We're doing, why don't we do a roll call vote on this one for the Amherst Pelham Regional vote on the contract.
Demling, aye.
Kaczynski, aye?
Dominic Cage, aye. Married, aye.
Nakajima, aye.
Bordona's aye.
Sullivan, aye.
Hazard, aye.
And for Union 26, we'll do a roll call vote as well, because why not? Let's start from this end.
Castenson, aye.
Hazard, aye.
Bordona's aye.
Married, aye.
Demling, aye.
Okay, both votes are unanimous, I believe. Dr. Morris, do you have anything you'd like? First off, by the way, we've already been praising you. We appreciate all this. Contracts are challenging, so you're not always talking. In fact, actually, when you're working on a contract, you're typically talking about the least fun topics. So we're not talking about like how awesome it is that your math presentation was the other day. and how much we're going to improve the schools and how much we love the community. Instead, we end up talking about, if the Titanic sank, how many lifeboats are there and how do we decide who gets on them? But so here we are. Thank you. And would you like to say anything?
Sure, I'll be very brief. I want to thank the committees for their continued support, and I think what I feel proud about, and both, many people spoke about the process, and from my end, I think what feels really good moving forward is I always try to not just think about what's good in the moment, but what's good in the long-term health of the organization. And I think in addition to the process, separate from the fact that I'm the one who, is going to be signing, one of the signers on it, I think it's a contract that I think restates the district's commitment to having really strong management and really strong connections between the committees and the superintendency. So if I can take myself out of it for a second, I feel really good about setting that bar and setting that precedent for contracts moving forward. Putting myself back in, I really just appreciate kind of the way we work through, with the two chairs, the contract language, and that, the level, what may not be visible to everyone, but the transparency was what we were able to communicate, that we had mutual goals in mind, and how we were able to work through lots and lots of contract language that was new. And, I appreciate that, and I just continue looking forward to working with the community as well as the committees on improving our schools and providing the best experience for all of our students. So, thank you all.
Wonderful. Anything else before we take a motion to adjourn?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. You can raise your hands to this one. All those in favor of adjournment, raise your hand. Regional Committee? We are adjourned.
And for Union 26, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. And all those in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
30 minutes.